Remember, we found out that the slope equals to -5. Alright, we know the slope, but we want to find out a relationship between the quantity and the price. We want to find the general line. So let's actually write first the formula for the slope. We said that the slope is equal to the change in quantity relative to the change in price. Well, if we do the math over here, what does that mean? That means that the slope times the change in price equals to the change in quantity. So the change in quantity equals to the slope times the change in price, if we do the cross product, right? So now we have a relationship between quantity and price, so we're getting somewhere closer. Okay, what is the change in quantity if we think about general line? Well, our quantity always starts at 80. That's our quantity initial. But we don't know what the quantity final can be in any case, so we leave it just as Q because we want to know it generally. Quantity minus 80 equals to the slope, which is equal to -5, times the change in price. Again, the price initially is 5, but it can take any value. We don't know how the market will set the price. So the final price is just P, and then minus the initial one, -5. Let's do the math, because now we can actually solve it. Change colors. So we got quantity minus 80. So quantity minus 80 is equal to, let's open the brackets, -5 times P, so -5 times P, -5 times -5, that's equal to +25. We want only quantity on one side, so we leave it here, and take the -80 to the other side. So we would have -5P plus 25 plus 80. So quantity would be equal to -5P plus 105. Alright, so that's the relationship we are looking for. Quantity depends on the price. Now, in part B, they ask how does quantity change relative to different changes in prices? And let's answer that. So in part B, when the price increases by 1 unit, how does quantity change? Well, remember, that's just our slope. That's the relationship between the price and quantity. And when the price goes up by 1 unit, quantity goes down by 5 units. And what if price increases by 3 units? Well, the quantity will change in the same proportion. It will change by 3 times 5 units. And why is that? Well, look, it's a linear relationship, and because it's linear, every change is proportional, meaning that if this thing increases by 1 unit, if price increases by 1 unit, quantity decreases by 5 units, well, price increasing by 3 units, it means price increases by 3 times much as before, while quantity will decrease by 3 times much as before. So that's why we have 3 times 5. And then they ask a bit differently. What if price decreases by 2 units? So let's use intuition first. Well, when price goes down, people can buy more, so they can demand more, meaning that the quantity demanded would go up, and it would go up by the same proportion, 2 times 5 units, which is equal to 10 units. Alright, that was for part B, and let's solve now part C. Part C. Change colors. Part C. What do we have there? In part C, we want to write the relationship between price and quantity. So at the moment we have quantity equals to -5 times P plus 105. And in part C, we want to write price depending on quantity. Well, we have to just switch places. We have to take the price to the other side. So -5P will go there, and the quantity will go to the right. So -5P, if we take it on the other side, would be just 5P equals to 105 minus quantity. Alright, well, we want to keep only price on one side, so we'll divide both sides by 5. Let's divide both sides by 5. So this one divided by 5 and this one divided by 5. We can do it because we have an equation, so anything that happens on the left side must happen on the right side. What do we have left? Well, 5P over 5 is just the price, equals to 105 divided by 5. That's equal to 21 minus 1 divided by 5. So minus 1 over 5 times the quantity. And now this is our slope. So this is the relationship between quantity and price. So quantity drives the price now. And let's write it in common words, in common sense. What does that mean? Well, when quantity increases by 1 unit, price decreases by 1.5 units. Or in our case, let's say that would be just 20 cents. Or yes, 20 cents, because it's a fifth of a euro. So quantity increased, price decreased, meaning that if people want more and we want to deliver more, we have to reduce the price for them to buy it. So price would go down. And if quantity would increase by 15 units, so 15 units, remember price has to decrease in the same proportion. So that would be 15 times 1/5, which is equal to 3. Meaning that the price has to decrease by 3 euros to satisfy this increase in demand. And that's it for this question.